Oh, look at that. Jeremy Sather across the line first tonight. Good to see all you guys. We had the race out of Daytona today. Biketoberfest was over. We packed things up down at Toast Performance and hauled ass, man, so we could get to Lakeland and a good internet connection to do this show for you guys tonight. This is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine. So good to see you guys piling in. Biketoberfest, man, this was the best Biketoberfest I've ever had. And it was all about racing. Of course, Willie's show was off the hook, but Sons of Speed was the story, and we're going to talk about that tonight. We got a great show lined up, so grab some popcorn, something to drink, kick back and relax, and get ready. We're going live with Shop Talk in 3.5. Oh man, the comments are coming in faster than I can get to them. Robin Higginbottom, good to see you here. Mike Draco in the house. Greg White, Gus checking in from Tejas. Let's see, great races today coming in from Walter Coro. Edward, Justin Tino, Massachusetts watching. Lance Baxter, looking forward to the show. Hey, look, you can do us a big favor here, a solid, if you will. If you're watching the show and you dig what we do here, Source Media with Shop Talk and the rest of the stuff, Torque, the magazines, hit the like and share button. Spread this around. Make sure your friends and neighbors know when we're doing this stuff. It's Two Wheel Entertainment. Shop Talk going live in 2.5. Fall River, Mass. 25 minutes away from Mr. Pirowitz. That's right. The ever-famous Pirowitz Cycle Fab. We were just up there a couple weeks ago, man, for the fall foliage run. What a beautiful, beautiful time of year to be in the northeast of this country. Steve Henderson. Hey, guys, what's up? Hey, now. One man in the house and feverishly typing away. I know what. Jesus. Somebody grab a hold of that guy. He's vibrating across the floor. All right, man. We're almost there. 1 minute. The countdown has begun. We're going to go live with 90 to 120 minutes. All the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Got some news, some information, but mostly just a little break to get you ready to go back to the 9 to 5. Getting ready for Monday morning, but we're going to kick it off here with Shop Talk. And let you remember that the motorcycle's right in the garage. Waiting for you to say F it all. Let's hit the road. All right, 19 seconds. I guess that's close enough. We can get this one out of the station up onto the track and go live with this week's installment of Shop Talk. Here we go. champs and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for another episode of Shop Talk. I'm Chris Callen, your host, here with Cyclesource Magazine. And man, have we had a hell of a couple days here. Jump over real quick to check it out. We're in Florida. Mark's back in Pittsburgh, and he's still here with us.
I am.
And you have a microphone.
I wished I was there with you, but I'm all the way here in Pitt. Somebody has to hold this place down. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, especially after you were hearing the stories, right? This was like old Daytona. We were getting.
Yeah, we're gonna skip over the story, those particular stories, and we're gonna stick to Willie's and Sons of Speed and BRL news.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, it can't all be puppies and rainbows. Sometimes the shit has to hit the fan, and
oh, that it did. But all in all, it was an outstanding weekend in the Sunshine State.
You missed a good one, Mark. So
I'm sort of bummed. Willie's is always one of my favorite in the first place, and so just to miss that. But to watch you racing Sons of Speed, I'm very upset. I missed. That's definitely something that I'm sure since day one you've been wanting to be a part of. Well, I know for day one. But
it really is. But I'll tell you what, the thing that I ended up finding out there was that Sons of Speed is a lot like the motorcycle Bonneville. You know what I mean? Like it's such a fragile thing and such a tight knit community because it has to be. Everybody there has to help out. Everybody has to, really participate at the top of their game to keep it going. And, like you have Freddie pulling in with 35 motorcycles for other guys to ride, and he has a guy come in to cook and a photographer to come in to take pictures of other people. And there's a lot of people like that that are just looking to make sure that other people are enjoying themselves too. And that's really what makes Sons of Speed a special thing. So
and support, that's what it's all about. Support
absolutely.
Each other. That makes things better.
Absolutely. You've been supporting me for years. Even without the benefit of a tax ID number. But yeah, listen.
I thought they count.
It was
gotta do what you gotta do.
Through the grace of our good friend and brother Tom Kiefer that I got to ride a 1916 J model twin in the Sons of Speed. But I also, Mark, did you get to see that Freddie actually from Godspeed Racing actually let me take out a 45? I got to ride a 45 too.
Oh, I did not see that. I said I only got to see a couple videos. I know Billy Lane posted a few. I was watching some that Heather had posted, but I didn't get to see a ton of it. And again, that's sort of the bummer of not being able to be there. So sort of sucks. So if you people have the opportunity to go, you need to go support these guys. Because that's what keeps it going is the people that support each other.
Right. Go ahead, Heather.
No, I was going to say, I felt bad I didn't post more live stuff during the race yesterday. But I was from one end of the track and back around again, like, all day. So
dude,
it was either I get footage that we could do a really great, couple pieces, or I go live. And I was just like, I opted for the couple great pieces.
At one point, you told me that I'm going to have to get her a set of roller skates.
Yeah, I needed roller skates yesterday for sure.
Taking the damn camera everywhere. Yeah, listen, Yon Austin, we got tons of video. We're going to be rolling out all through this week, and next week on Shop Talk, I promise you guys some killer video out of Sons of Speed. I know we do have a bunch of pictures. While we're talking about this stuff, I'm going to flip through some of them because there were some really strong memories that stood out to me that I want to make sure that I send shout outs. First of all, this cat right here, Detroit was his name, and that motorcycle that you see him sitting on was an electric Indian 4. So it was everything original from an Indian 4, except there was something about the transmission that the transmission was messed up, and he needed to get a transmission and couldn't. So instead of pissing around waiting, he put an electric motor in this bike. And everyone that rode this motorcycle, Billy Lane rode it, Steve Broyles rode it, they came back grinning like little kids. It was one of the biggest hits there. There's Billy, of course. Brought the Mac back to the track. That was the original Sons of Speed bike, and it made its return this year.
Real quick, I just want to let people know that Jason Hallman was on site, and if they want to see some great coverage of the races, to go over to the Torque Performance page after Shop Talk, and you can see his live coverage of the event. He's got well over an hour on their Facebook or YouTube page.
This was our one and only sponsor. Uncle Joe from Motion Pro hooked us up with those big damn umbrellas. And when we first pulled them out,
that
Mark,
was a savior.
listen, that's the thing. When we first pulled them out, everybody's like, "Oh, look at you guys with your umbrellas." We got out and it was like 9,000 degrees in the sunlight down there, and we're sitting along that wall waiting for the photographer to come out. I said, "Who's laughing about those umbrellas now, huh?"
They're like, at one point, Jody's like, "Can you be my umbrella boy?" And he's like, "No, but you can use an umbrella."
Dude, this cat right here, I'm sorry that I don't know his name, but this was one of the coolest shots of the day. Just because, putting bowl
cool
helmet and beard flying in the breeze, man, and he was just hauling ass too.
Yeah, that was my favorite picture. That was my favorite picture of the day, I think.
So lots of stuff coming up with that. More than I could even get to. Obviously, we're just 3 hours away from Daytona still, and we hurried up to get over here to get this show done tonight. But by next week, we'll have tons of video for you. We'll probably see some video rollout on Torque this week as well. And speaking of Torque, we have some killer news that our editor-in-chief and head man is going to bring in from Torque Magazine, Mr. Jason Holman.
Hello there. How are you?
What's going on, Mr. Torque?
Not much. Just putting it together here for you guys so we can get you some news. We had a big weekend. I was able to go to, I went a few days early, went Wednesday, and was actually in the infield at Daytona. Met with the BRL founder, Rob Bidas, and Kevin, the representative from CCS Championship Cup Series, or is it CCS or CCR? Yeah, CCS, the Championship Cup Series. So the big announcement is next year, Biketoberfest 2022, they are going to crown a world champ in the BRL. And why this is important is because they're trying to raise the stakes for the factories. They want to see a head-to-head Harley versus Indian. And so they don't have all the dates set for the races leading up to that, but we do know that Saturday of next Biketoberfest during the intermission, so they're going to run it the same day with the Cup Series bikes, and when the Cup Series bikes break mid afternoon, then they're going to run all the BRL stuff in the middle, kind of like the cream and the Oreo. So the cool part is they've got the handshake down. We're gonna have some more information about that on this Thursday night's Torque Performance Television show, and we'll show you all the things that happen there. But they're going to actually have a total of 5 classes too. So of course there's the Bagger GP, that's the premier class. That's the one that is the Indian versus Harley at head-to-head for the big pros, right? And then there's the Pro Stock Bagger. Obviously that's the class. You see Steve Chamberlain, you see Tony Tucker, no less of an actual purpose-built race bike, but it's not necessarily considered the pro class. They have the big twin class, and then they have the lightweight twins, and then there is a new class. This, Chris, you're going to love this, because I know that you are torn right now between the FCR and the new Sportster, but there is going to be an FS Cup, right? So people viewing right now, you can see you've got the Sportster and the FCR, and they're going to build that class and all the rules around that, and everything's not set in stone yet as far as what that's going to be, but they're really looking to try to create a place where the Indians and the Harleys can go head-to-head in class racing. So it's going to be pretty awesome.
And what I especially love about that fact is that rather than succumb to the pressure of a big manufacturer like Harley Davidson and just doing a straight-out spec class that was going to be for the Sportster, the BRL is going to continue the tradition of the 100-year war between Harley and Indian. All that stuff has been heating up across all of these races, and it looks like they're just going to keep egging it on.
Yeah, and that's the draw. I mean, last year there was some conversation, or earlier this year there was conversation about, I heard one team owner actually kind of dipping in his conversation, when I was in the pits, and they couldn't acquire the correct amount of ballast, and they're moving that around on that Challenger because of the weight penalty on there for the non-push rod motor, right? But this class racing that's going on in the BRL is legit. I mean, even the sportsman classes and what I would consider outlaw racing, just not on the street. I see the manufacturer midway growing. I see the resources growing, and I've been a proponent of this from jump, just based on the fact that I know that there's going to be so many problems created on the track and so many solutions created on the track too. So there's a lot of people, the Luke Leatherman, Robbie Lane, Alex Fox, all these guys, these team owners that are campaigning these bikes, they are raising the bar in their own organizations and making parts that are going to perform on the track.
Right on, man. So listen, tune in Thursday night, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, same channels you're watching right now, and you can get more information about that from Torque Performance Television. Jason, thank you so much for taking a couple minutes. I know you just got home today, too, from Biketoberfest. I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming and telling the news for everybody.
All right, see you guys. I'll see you first thing in the morning, Chris, Heather.
Take care.
Alrighty.
Bye.
So listen, man, we're not going to hold you up tonight. Like I said, we're still on the road, but fresh off of a trip across the state of Florida, and we are going to keep this thing rolling by jumping into our guest this evening, Mr. Mikey Revolt, putting on a little event you guys might be familiar with, Fuel Cleveland. Let's hit it. Mikey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
So you're short time,
Short time.
huh? Short time.
He does have his ducks in a row, though.
Got my ducks in a row.
That's great. The duck stole the show.
Hell yeah.
So let's when I was saying short time, I meant short time for your event. This is usually the part where I start tearing big blotches of my hair out and screaming a lot.
Do you see all the grays in my beard right now?
I do.
We got like 3 weeks left, and it's crunch time for sure.
It's got to be bittersweet though, because
Usually
Go ahead, Mark.
usually at this point, me and Chris aren't even talking.
Yeah. He just looks for an excuse.
Yeah.
It's got to be bittersweet for you too, though, dude, because like as stressful as it gets, I mean, it's a killer show, and everybody loves it to death. They love you for doing it, but even more importantly, it's coming back. Like this is the return for the event after the break from all the COVID bullshit.
Oh yeah, dude. 2020 was heartbreaking to with 2020 being, they're like, no one's giving any permits for mass gatherings and stuff. It was a real big heartbreak, but liabilities and everything else, and not really knowing what the state was, we had to cancel it. So it was a real bummer, but we're here now, and it's finally, I think we're gonna be okay, and we're gonna be able to get it done. And I got so much going on with this one, so I'm really excited, and it's just been a stressful last couple weeks. Especially because I've been in New Jersey for a show videoing that, and then I was out in Nevada for Choppers Magazine's Virginia City Roundup, and I did a video for them as well. So I've just been on the road and scheduling all the stuff for Fuel Cleveland.
Oh, that's awesome. So now, typically, Fuel Cleveland in the past has been in the summer months.
Yeah.
You've moved it to November this year in Cleveland. Yeah. What are you doing different, if anything, to compensate for that time change weather-wise?
Well, this year we got a 13,000 square foot showroom area, and then I also have a 24,000 square foot vending area. So it's all going to be inside this year, the show, which usually most previous years have been outside. For riding and stuff like that, for people riding, some people are bitching about, oh man, it's going to be cold, this, that, blah, blah. Ohio's been very warm because of global warming as of November's of late. My birthday is November 12th, so it's a week after the show. And for the last, I think, 7 or 8 years, I've partied in my t-shirt outside. So I think we're going to be okay. I think people put some chaps on and ride their frickin' chopper out. I think it'll be a good time.
Oh, I hope so.
And even if it snows, it's going to be good because everyone will be warm inside, you know. So
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. The only thing I'm going to say, I'm super bummed. This was the year we were coming to Fuel Cleveland, and Chris and I were finally going to be able to make it. And it's at the same time we have a long-standing commitment. I'm so sad that I don't actually get to go. I was so looking forward to that. So
and my goal was to plan it around nothing, and then somehow
that's
it still
impossible. That's
I know.
absolutely impossible. There's so much cool, especially like these small grassroots events that we see popping up everywhere. There's so much cool stuff going on right now. And especially with this year in particular, everybody who typically did spring events, everybody moved them to the fall
Yeah.
just to try and get them in. So,
Well,
I mean,
I also think with the COVID made people push things around a lot more too, and ended up balling up a lot of these events. But it is nice to see these little grassroots events really taking a big forefront here.
Well, and you know what, man? Like when it comes to your event, I mean, this is Fuel Cleveland. I'm not sure how you feel about it. Like I know after all the years of the magazine, I still see it as our little magazine. But this is Fuel Cleveland is a major concern now. I mean, you guys are really responsible for representing and setting a big part of the tone for the custom industry, not just from I mean, it's considerable from our part of the country, but you got guys coming in from everywhere. You know, this is one of the strongest shows going now.
I appreciate the kind words, man. It's a labor of love, and the big plan from the beginning was to just highlight the Midwest region and show that Ohio has, I think, the third highest registration of motorcycle riders in the country. It's California, Texas, and then Ohio. And there was no really big show or anything that highlights half of the builders or half of the people in this area. And then a lot of the guys in this area aren't going to California or New York or to see a lot of the bigger show like bikes and stuff like that. So we thought, why not bring it here? And it's been very rewarding, I think, in that regard, and just really trying to give back to the community. This show is also free. We don't charge anything to come in, so it's a public free event. And I think that's one of the biggest draws too, because why not come with a family or a bunch of friends and come see motorcycles for a day that you've never thought you'd ever see. So.
no, that's awesome. I'm really bummed that we can't make it, and I know it's going to be a good show because you yourself are an artist. You are an incredible photographer, so you have a great appreciation for lighting and how to properly show these rolling works of art, which I think just completely enhances the experience. And you also do an art show as well, correct? Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, we do. We try to highlight anywhere from 30 to 60 artists, depending on what medium and format. So this year is going to be about 60 because I actually put a sissy bar fabrication show in it as well. It's called the Moto Extravaganza.
Yes, yeah.
Art show, and then also I'm trying to get Savannah with her women's moto exhibit as well, on top of the other artists that we've invited. So adding a couple other extra exhibits on top of the art and photography that we have.
That's awesome.
So.
Hey, I don't know if you've talked to him yet or not, but have you talked to Mad Stork?
Yeah,
he's got this cool new thing he's doing with his rolling museum and art show.
He literally just emailed me this week.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
I got to email him tomorrow. Today was an off day. I tried to relax a little bit, watch the Browns get their ass kicked, stuff like that.
How many times can you actually watch that?
Sorry.
Really?
It's a brutal thing, but we all go through it. So
You're from
part of being
Cleveland, you just watch and watch.
Oh, that's so sad. No,
I'm wearing your guys' colors today, which is kind of weird. The Pittsburgh stuff.
That's what's up.
So how long, give us a little bit of your background, because like I said, you are an amazing photographer. If you guys haven't seen Mikey Revolt's work, please go check it out, because the way he works with the light and captures everything is just, it's incredible.
Thank you. I really appreciate the kind words on that as well. I started in 2009. My mom passed away, and really lost my ways of like artistic value in any kind of shape or form and came to be like a really big piece of shit. And I saw a camera sitting on my wife's desk, and I asked her one day, I said, "Hey, can I play with that?" And she goes, "Just don't break it." And I've never turned back since. It's like the instant gratification of taking a photo and creating something, a story out of that one image. And I've really pushed myself to get into the industry through, you know, doing little articles for blogs and stuff as I grew in 2010, 11, 12, working at Chop Cult and some other smaller companies, and just kind of getting myself out there. And what's crazy is Fuel Cleveland is a little more important to me than most, because it's not only just my show that I help, you know, I have two co-founders, which is Jesse from Gasbox and also Tyler from Lowbrow. When I did the show and I first had the idea with the show, that stemmed into what happened with me getting involved with Lowbrow Customs. So being able to get a job with a local company like Lowbrow Customs because of a show that I helped create, and then pushing myself further and further into the artistic world, you know, it's crazy that it became a career.
Well, and you know what, man? I mean, it was I can't even remember which year it was. I think at Mama Tried was the first time that I came across you, and you were doing an exhibit of your photography there, right?
Yeah, I think it was 2014. It was just before I got hired with Lowbrow.
And it was, I mean, it was immediately evident. Like Heather's talking about your use of light and everything, and you know, for a lot of us, man, you can tell like that whole thing about, you know, a really good writer paints a picture with the words that they use. A really good photographer tells the story with the pictures they take. You know, and for the motorcycle community for a long time now, it's always, you know, our history has been written down. Our stories have been told through pictures like, you know, like Michael Lichter, and, you know, on and on throughout the years. And, you know, it was immediately evident that you were going to be the guy that was telling the stories from this generation.
That's really nice of you to say, man. Thanks.
Is it ever heavy for you? Ever sit back and, you know, realize, like, this many years now, do you go back through stuff and start to have that realization yourself that, like, you're literally holding that history in your hands?
Yeah, I've been slacking a bit on sharing some of it too. I released my first book in 2017, I believe, or 2016, and released a passage of 2013 to 2016 of photos, and wrote some stories and stuff, and shared some of my travels. And since then, with, you know, being heavily in Lowbrow, I've traveled even more, and grateful for Tyler and the opportunities, but it's been able to help me, you know, capture even more stories. And I've slowly been working on a book, another new one. So hopefully by 2022, I will release that with a ton more stories to share, because I've been able, you know, like I said, grateful enough to be able to see a lot of the world, even with all the crazy shutdowns and shit going on.
Do you sleep?
What? I actually get a little too much sleep sometimes. But there are days when it, like the other day, I was cranking out a video for Lowbrow, and I think I worked 14 and a half hours to get it done, just because I wanted to get it out the same week as the event was done, you know. So.
Now, what kind of background do you have in this? Because you, and again, I don't mean to sound like I'm fangirling, but like you knock it out of the park with everything you do, from your photography, your videos, because I know everything you do. Well, I don't know everything you do with Lowbrow, but I know you do an awful lot with them, and their social media and their marketing and all of those things. Where does all that come from? Have you just learned it as you go, or do you have an education in that?
All self-taught. Everything I've ever done has been self-taught, and just really, when I dive into something, I don't stop. I don't stop learning. I don't stop looking at what I need to do to make it better. And when I see something or see someone doing something, and I'm like, shit, I suck, and I need to figure out how they do it or how they do it better, and I analyze and go full throttle. It's kind of a sickness.
I kind of hate you right now.
I'm sorry.
I think earlier Chris was saying, you realize that, you're carrying some of this, for 27 years, we've been saying to Chris, hey, you've really run with this and you've done really well. I don't think at the point you don't look at that yourself. Other people keep telling you that. And I think maybe that's what keeps, obviously with Fuel Cleveland, keeps you grounded and keeps making it better and better, because I know from day one, the first time you had done it, we always run so close to the edge, we never have time to come there. And I know Pat Patterson's actually been bitching at me to show up this year. And, Chris had actually said before, you ought to grab Bone Daddy and show up. But to see what you've done, where you've come through, this has become a great show in motorcycling. You premiere so many cool bikes and so many cool people. It's pretty awesome to watch you do it.
Thanks, man. And it's not me alone. Again, I got Jesse from the Gas Box and Tyler from Lowbrow Customs with their support, and a lot of the people that they know too. It really helps with having those connections to reach out and get people involved. And between our three minds together, it really makes an impactful part of the show. They've been doing this for a long time. Tyler's been since 2004 with Lowbrow Customs, and Jesse's been doing it since he was 15, building motorcycles and working in the community. So between the three of us, I just think the passion's there, and we really try to put, like I said, an avenue for people to highlight their work in our show, while also showcasing some of our stuff. Self promotion is always a thing, but for the most part, we want to give back.
Well, and for a lot of us too, man. I know I speak for me and Mark. In the Rust Belt, there a lot of the times, even though that between our two states, this is one of the largest saturation of motorcycle riders, registered motorcycle riders, and like for the custom side of things, a lot of stuff that's gone on in the custom industry over the years has started out of Pennsylvania, Ohio, like the Rust Belt cities.
Yep.
And I felt the same way as you forever. It's been forever since there was a real national level show that really gave credit to guys that came through the Rust Belt.
I'm banking that. I know the International Motorcycle Show is still going on, but it hasn't been going on in Cleveland the last few years, and I don't know if it's going to, because we have had some trouble with one of the big venues. So I'm praying that all those people will come out to this show and see the experience that we give as well, because that was one of the winter time things to do in Cleveland, was to go to the International Motorcycle Show. And no offense to that show, it's amazing, but it's not what we do. We curate vintage and historic type stuff that you will never see anywhere else, from people's private collections to custom builds that are out of this world to fancy race bikes that just scream that they're fast. So I really hope that we get that International Motorcycle Show crowd from our local area as well to come out into this as well, and it's free. So
That's incredible. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you, Chris.
That's all right.
But just the fact that they work so hard to put all this together, and the sheer size of it this year, the 24,000 square feet and plus, and to be able to leave it free for the public, kudos to you guys. You must be, that's a lot of work to be able to make that happen.
It's a thing that happened when we first came up with it. The idea is, why charge for it? It's other people's hard work. It's not ours. We're just bringing them the venue and putting them together. But why charge people to see other people's work? And we ask a few key sponsors every year to help pay for the venue. And any other little money that we make goes right back into the show so that we can continue to do it every year. So it's just one of those selfless acts, I guess, and we just try to keep it going.
Yeah, that's good, man.
That's awesome.
Well, it's those little selfless acts that make a big difference in the long run.
Yeah. Well, and man, we say this all the time, how motorcycling has always been blue collar entertainment, and the drag is like when you get these pockets of popularity with some of the shows, some of the magazines, some of the different events that go on. You get pockets of popularity, and all of a sudden, it's unobtainable for some of the regular people, and that's a drag, man. Like you said, everybody should have access to stuff like this. Everybody should be able to see this. You know, I hope that this year, all the people that have been going to those IMS shows come and see this thing that you're doing, so that they can see the difference in it. You know, they can see the other side of the coin. So
Yeah, questionably the better side of the coin in the long run. Sometimes you hate to say it that way, but this is coming down to the real builder and the person that's putting on the show is as involved as the guy that's building the bikes to bring to display at the show, which is pretty cool.
right on. Well, listen, what is so a lot of people are talking about a few bikes that are out there right now that are starting to make their way around some of the shows. Is there a bike or a thing that you're waiting to see the crowd reaction, or that you want to see personally show up?
I can't. I'm such a homer, but like Christian Newman from Buffalo, the first time we ever met him was the very first Fuel, and every year he just fucking goes higher and higher and higher up the list of just insane builders. And I can't wait to see that bike in person because I've only seen photos of it. Then there's also Hawk Lachey from Montana. He's bringing 3 bikes that he's built over the last 3 years that I've never been able to get into the show, and this is the first year he committed, and I'm very excited for that. We have an old timer, a couple old timers that are bringing some other private collection bikes. That Evil Knievel bike, which I can't believe is coming, which is insane. And then 1905 Harley Davidson. The dude owns a 1903. He rode it to Milwaukee on their whatever their last anniversary was, and they wouldn't let him park it in front of the museum. He's like, this bike is the museum. So that guy has an insane collection. I'm trying to talk him into bringing that bike, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. But he did ride it out to Milwaukee. His name's Danny McGill, or is it Bruce Lindsay? Bruce Lindsay, excuse me. But that guy. Oh, he has an amazing collection.
That's awesome.
Danny McGill's bringing a 1905 Harley. That guy's got an amazing collection too. So there's some really old vintage stuff, some really rare things that I can't believe are coming to the show, and some really high class builders that are coming to the show. Pat's bringing from Lead Slide's bringing a great bike. Mike Schrickle from Chop Machine, he's bringing one of his classic Sportsters. We have a lot of Ohio local builders too. That's the other thing, is like we get the garage builders to come out to the show. People that are just in around town can submit a bike. You know what I mean? I'm building this bike, and we keep tabs on it. Say, hey, keep sending us photos, keep sending us updates, and then after a while, you start seeing the full picture. You go, yeah, damn, dude, that's sweet. Bring it. And that's cool too, man. Giving back to that local Joe who's just starting out. Who knows? He might be the next Christian Newman soon. You know. So
he blows my mind. We were able to see that bike at Glory Days in Pittsburgh a few weeks, almost a month ago now.
Mm-hmm.
It's flawless.
It is. Yeah. You can just look at it for 25, 30 minutes and just gaze at it. It's an amazing bike.
Yeah, and you know what? Between you mentioned him and Hawk Lachey, and like between the two of them, I mean, they're two of the nicest guys on the planet. On top of that,
oh, they are. They're both so humble and kind.
Oh yeah, very, very. Both of them have been nothing but the nicest people ever. I actually just got to meet Hawk in Nevada for the first time ever too. We hung out for a while and shared stories and stuff. And he's a really, really great guy. And like I said, I've known Christian since 2015, and just stoked on that dude doing what he does. So.
That's awesome. So tell everybody how it kicks off. I see you guys have a pre-party on Friday night.
Yeah, pre-party Friday night. We're telling everyone if you're not going to be cold and you're not going to be a wussy about it, go ride out to Edgewater Park, meet out, share your bike with some friends and hang out and by the water. It's going to be a little chilly, but I think it'll be cool. It's just a big parking lot party for a little bit until the cops kick you out. And then there's a bar called Hooples. We've gone there every year. It's right in the almost basically the flats of Cleveland, and you can see all of downtown. It's a beautiful view. The lights on the city are incredible with the bridges and stuff. Similar to Pittsburgh, but we don't have as many bridges. I'm sorry, but it is a beautiful sight, and the bartenders there are great. The food's great. It's just an easygoing thing. And then on Saturday, You got a map right there of the show. Basically, the no parking area is going to be filled with trailers from the builders, unfortunately. So that's why it says no parking there. I'm trying to keep motorcycle parking on the street only and on the front of the venue. And then there are car parking available from a private place that's charging $10. So other parking, you can park anywhere around the venue on the streets. It's totally cool if you're driving. And motorcycle parking is of course free because we encourage people to ride out. Because the other cool thing about Fuel Cleveland is all the people that do ride out, there's just as many good bikes in the parking lots as there is in the show. It's incredible to see. We don't give awards away at any of our show. Like we don't have a flashy stage or anything like that. But we did give away some of the name plaques that we put on the people's bikes in the show. We gave away some in the parking lot and just said nice fucking bike on it and put them on those bikes because they're just incredible on the outside too. So.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
when Heather was talking about the change of date and like how you were going to deal with it, I'm sitting there thinking, this is just about the time that it really, really starts to get cool to ride in the Northeast and, up through the Rust Belt because the weather is changing. It's comfortable. I like putting on a coat. I like riding to somewhere where somebody's got a fire or a burn barrel going. You know what I mean? Like, I dig this time of year for riding.
Oh, and I don't know if anyone realizes this, but Harley Davidsons run better in cool weather.
Yeah,
Especially shovel heads.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Especially shovelhead.
It is. It's definitely better to ride in cold weather. And now all this conversation going on, it's really upset me that I'm not listening to Pat and just coming up there.
Yeah,
So,
you should go. You should go, man.
Come on out, man. It's gonna be a party.
If I can get my apparently like you, my ducks in a row, maybe I'll load that bike up and bring it on up.
Good luck with that, Mark.
That's great.
You ever see the one little duck that just keeps going in circles? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's me.
All right, well, listen, man. Tell everybody where they can keep up to the minute on news for Fuel Cleveland and on you personally, so that they can follow along to see the next stage of what Mikey Revolt's up to.
So if you go to fuelcleveland.com, that's going to have on the side the entire weekend schedule on the right side of the website. And in the center, we've got the flyer with the address, the parking lot map. Makes it real simple and easy. Fuelcleveland.com. Just save that in your bookmarks on your phone. Save that flyer. If you want to share that flyer with everybody, that would be really helpful. Again, the show is completely free. The pre-party and after parties at Hooples is completely free. Everything that we do is we try to make it free so that you can spend money on booze, merchandise, whatever else you're fancy. There's tons of good food in Cleveland. So it's real easy to find your way around. FuelCleveland.com. Again, that's the easiest way to find everything. If you want up-to-minute news, if you have Instagram, at Fuel Cleveland is our Instagram. It's super easy to find, and you can look at all the cool bikes that are coming. I've only announced a handful of them. There's probably 140 on the list, and there's probably only 30 that I've probably promoted this year so far. So just like kind of a tease, But yeah, Instagram, you can see all kinds of the good bikes that are coming. That shovelhead tracker from Larry is freaking crazy too, up top. That one with the number 23 on it, that's an insane build. Apparently that is an Arlen Ness frame, an early one that Huey from Cleveland owned and then sold to another local guy named Jeff, and then Larry got a hold of that and made that bike out of it. So it's got some Cleveland roots to it too, which is pretty insane.
That's awesome. I really wish we could be there. So don't take this the wrong way, but I hope next year you move it back to summertime.
We'll see how it goes. The other thing is I don't want to compete too bad with Mama Tried. Those are my homies. Those are my brothers. It's our sister show. Like, that's another Midwest amazing show, and I love Scott and Warren with all my
Maybe
heart.
just a week later into November so we can go.
Yeah.
Or a week earlier. I don't know.
And I told those guys, I said, I don't want to push too close to Mama Try. And they said, no, man, do what you need to do, because this whole COVID stuff, everyone's just trying to jam it in this year. So
Right.
But, we'll see how it goes in November. And if it's not as crowded because people not riding, which I really hope you do, because it's going to be nice. I really hope it goes well, but if it doesn't, we'll probably move it back to July. But I hope everything goes well.
We do too. I wish you all the success in the world. Looks like it's gonna be a killer show, and I can't wait to see what happens.
So listen, I'm gonna plug your work too, because like Heather said, I think you're one of the people that's telling the stories of this generation through the lens of your camera. Go and check him out at Mikey Revolt on Instagram. You definitely want to follow along with that. Everything he does for the guys over at Lowbrow Customs. I can't say good things over at about everybody at Lowbrow, because they cost me so much money. I can't believe right now that while we've been on this show, I haven't dumped a couple $100 on chopper shit, because every time I go to that website, it costs me money.
Because Heather's sitting right next to you. That's
right.
And Chris, I'm sorry, because I take all the product photos too, so you're probably like, damn, that looks good, that looks good.
That looks good.
I'm gonna find a way to block it from his computer. Just.
Oh my god! Do you realize you just admitted in front of the entire world that you're a chopper blocker?
Chopper blocker.
Oh, good lord. Well.
Hey, I think I watched a show, you guys, and you were talking about buying a Triumph, and she was like, "Oh, more bikes, the better." And you're like, "That's why I married her."
See?
No, it's our. No, it really is. It is good. My biggest problem now is we need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
So the bikes outweigh the space right now, so we're kind of screwed.
Well, that's why he just buys parts so he can make newer ones, better stuff.
Well, no, because the problem, he doesn't he's the guy that I'm going to build this one and sell it. No, you're not. I know you're not. You just think
listen,
that
Linda. Listen, Linda, you're not listening.
Because you're lying. You're lying, Linda.
I get emotionally attached to the things that I spend a lot of time with.
You get emotionally attached to gum wrappers, dude. Oh, anyway, yeah, lowbrow, love-hate relationship. Mikey, you're awesome. I wish you and your partners amazing success at Fuel Cleveland.
Listen, will you do a favor for us? Get us some video clips and stuff, and come back on the show after
with a recap,
Fuel Cleveland, and do a recap with us.
I'm trying to hang out this year. I got a manager to help us out with,
I call bullshit. It doesn't work that way.
I know, I'm trying my hardest to just be the guy that put on the show and just go, hey, what's going on?
That's so cute.
But I'll try and get some stuff together.
If you can figure out a way to do that, let everybody that's on the show on know.
Right.
So
if you figure
you'd
that
be a
out,
genius. You
call
could make
me.
$1 million just on teaching people how to do that.
I'm tired of running with my head cut off at every one of these, and I do it like I said for the community, but sometimes I feel like, man, I'm in my last breath, and I basically fall asleep while there's 50 people partying at my house, so
yep.
Hopefully this year I can relax a little more.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that it'll make an old man out of you in a hurry. When we first met, we were both a lot younger than we are now. All right, buddy. Well, listen, thanks a lot for coming on. Go ahead, Mark.
I said I didn't have gray in my beard when this all started.
You didn't have a beard when it all started. What are you talking about?
Well, we were like 12 at that point, so.
Yep.
I didn't have a beard when I started either. It's okay.
Yep. Right on, man. Well, listen, have a great show. I wish you guys all the best. Go and check out immediately. Go check out Fuel Cleveland. Get on the website. Get in the know. Get up there. Get tickets. Or not get tickets.
No tickets needed.
Listen, I'm Sons of Speeded Out. Like that.
Yeah.
That thing has me crazy. I'm trying to find a 45 or a J model so bad now, and I need to do it in secrecy, obviously, just like my chopper parts.
That is,
Right?
you and secrets do not go hand in hand.
Listen, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna put this out there.
Telephone, telegraph, telechrist.
Anybody that has some 45 stuff kicking around, or maybe you got that J model twin.
You are smoking crack.
Hey, Chris.
Just have him call me.
Mikey, don't do it.
Wait.
I like you right now. Nope.
There, look, I got her mute button.
Tyler's got a JD probably for sale. It's in pieces right now, but he might be on a JD.
Who does?
Tyler.
Oh, So Tyler gets more of my money. See,
Well,
damn it.
looks like-
I can't even
looks
stay
like
away when
looks
it's
like I
not
know who
Chopper.
Chris was calling.
Rob,
Hey, there's some guy named Rob saying PM him right now.
oh, y'all are fired. I thought you were my friends.
This is how it works. Enablers. Oh, yeah.
No,
I love
see,
you
this
all.
is the deal. He has 2 projects he's gonna do. He's gonna do one for Dennis Kirk, which is awesome. He's supposed to do his 25th anniversary bike, which is a 49 Panhead, and then he's supposed to build my bike. When he builds my
Oh.
bike, then he can get a 45.
Oh man!
Notice how quiet it got.
Right? Crickets. Crickets.
Get on it, Chris. Get on it, bud.
Right on. All right, man. Well, listen, we'll cut you loose, buddy. And like I said, have a great time up there. And if you can sneak a little cell phone shot here and there, send us some clips and we'll recap it. If not, I'm sure we're gonna have people there that are covering it for us. So
Yeah, we'll definitely get you some material. Hopefully, at least put something in the magazine and whatnot. And,
Yeah, for sure.
I also just wanted to thank you guys personally over the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years that you've featured me in your magazine. I can't be more thankful enough. Just, again, you guys give a great avenue, a great platform to share what people do with their building, their builds and their art. So I appreciate you guys. You guys do just another selfless act as well. Get some sleep,
Thank you.
thanks, man.
Let me throw this out there.
Oh,
I'd love to have more Mikey Revolt in the magazine. So please, whenever you have something that you want us to throw in there, send it my way.
We're down.
We're down. Event coverage, feature bikes, you name it.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you again. Thank you for everything. And enjoy Daytona. Don't party too hard. And
All right,
I'll
buddy.
see you guys soon.
All right, man. Hey, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and you're watching Shop Talk every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. We're going to take a quick 2 minutes, pay some bills here in the studio, and we're going to come back to you after with some more Shop Talk. Stick around.
Have you built a bike you'd like to show off? Would you like it showcased on an awesome website and have a shot at some sick prizes? Then Garage Build wants to see your ride. It's super easy. Just go to garagebuild.com, enter your information, and share your stories. Don't forget to upload your photos and videos and tell us what it took to build your ride. Your build could be featured on our Facebook page and our Instagram page, and some might even make it into Cycle Source magazine. Everyone that submits a build will receive a free Garage Build hat and a chance at a $250 Dennis Kirk gift card. After you've entered your build, support your fellow builders by rating and commenting on your favorite bikes. If you're not a builder and you still want to participate in the action, go to view the builds on Garage Build's site. Let the owners know what you think of their unique rides by rating and commenting. Enter your email address for a chance to win a $100 Dennis Kirk gift card. Don't forget to follow Garage Build on Facebook and Instagram. You just might see your ride featured. There's going to be 2 contests per year. So head over to DennisKirksGarageBuild.com now for your chance to win. I'm Dylan with Dennis Kirk. We'll see you guys next time.
This is Rick from RKB, and you're watching Shop Talk.
We're the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. We understand the challenges riders face every day. As riders, we want to share the road and be seen by motorists. Remaining visible is critical to our safety and well-being. That's why we work tirelessly to promote motorcycle safety and awareness. We're proud to support our community that includes riders of all stripes. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
All right, we're back in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio with Shop Talk, and just had a great talk with Mikey Revolt from Fuel Cleveland, and killing myself that I can't be there, but also killing myself because the messages are pouring in about people that have possible J-model motorcycles for me or 45s that I can continue my plight to be a Sons of Speed racer.
Pathetic. Pathetic.
What do you mean pathetic?
Poppy, don't even start with me.
But Heather,
Hey, you gotta watch. She's close enough to you to smack you right in the back of the head.
That's
I know.
right.
I know. Oh well, listen. Like I said, man, you can't even blame me for saying that.
I can't, but you can wait.
You can't blame me for saying it because it is contagious. Like you cannot even understand. Taking that motorcycle when I hit that track with those board tracker bars in my hands and hit that banked wall, it was like a time machine. You know what I mean? Like it took me back to a completely different place. Like everything disappeared. The pits disappeared, the people in the bleachers disappeared, and going around that track and just like focusing on what was going to be the best line and how I could stay as fast as I could but as upright as I could so that I didn't blow the tires off the rims. You know what I mean? Like it was just everything. It was killer.
It was great. Your second time out for practice. Do you know how long Kiefer stood there trying to wave you in?
No.
Oh, a good long time.
Why?
Well, no, just because, like, you just kept going and going and going and going. He's like, like 6 or 8 laps, and then you got to give it a break. And you just kept going and going. And then finally, he went to the edge of the pits, and he's like, all right, that's it. It was so great, so great.
Yeah, Mark, I'm out there forgetting that I'm riding somebody's $60,000 motorcycle around.
Right.
You know. Oh, well.
Well, we did warn him.
So listen, man, there was other things going on. The main reason we go down to Biketoberfest every year, obviously, Willie's. The show did not disappoint. Mr.
No.
Banks came and rolled right up front and put his foot in everyone's ass.
Right, with this 3, he had what? They were all knuckleheads, right?
Yeah, but the best picture is not this one. Later on in the week, I got a picture of him with one of Daytona Beach's finest getting a mile-long ticket for lane splitting.
That was great. We should have put that picture up. That was a great picture.
But there was just some beautiful, beautiful motorcycles at Willie's, man. This one we got for a feature coming up. Great stuff. Great
It was
stuff.
a good time. It was hot.
Definitely got some amazing motorcycles, that's for sure.
Yep.
Oh, it was. I thought I was just being a wuss with the heat this weekend, but somebody told me that they were 1 degree off from record-setting heat. I'm like, all right, then I don't feel so bad. It was brutal this weekend. Like, even in Willie's, Mark, you would have melted.
Oh, no crap. Yeah, I hear it was real hot down
Okay,
there.
wait a minute. I got to ask a question here because Steve Broyles is saying. So Mike Draco said, "Where did you place Chris?" And then Steve Broyles said, 30 years. I don't think I did that bad. Like that's a sentence. So this
I love Poppy.
This is one of my favorite pictures
Hey,
from Willie's.
If you're not first, you're last.
Look at that.
Oh, SmokeOut. Oh, yeah, we got big news from SmokeOut. We got
Yes,
a
we do.
bunch of big news from SmokeOut. Can we talk about it?
Go ahead.
So, we finally officially released
What's
the
going on
dates.
with my show? God damn it.
What are you bitching about?
Go ahead.
It's not all about you, Christopher. We finally released the dates for SmokeOut Rally 2022. It's going to be September 8th and 9th, and, well, technically 9th and 10th, 2022, back to the original Salisbury Stomping Grounds. You can do the next one.
I can do the next one about what?
The website is live. You can buy your tickets now. We're still populating it. We're still working on booking bands and food vendors, but there is going to be on-site camping, a whole bunch of shenanigans.
Shenanigans? Whole bunch of shenanigans.
Hey! Wow, where did that come from?
This is one of the cool things that we can talk about as Tankful because I'm super proud that we're putting something like this together. So SmokeOut Rally in conjunction with the Hamsters USA founding member Ed Kerr are proud to introduce Tankful. Because everyone deserves a full tank. The premise of this is we have asked some 15 so far of the top painters around the country. You know, right here you see Robert Pradke's in the mix, and there's a list on here of the guys that are agreed to do this already. We're getting tank half shells from Paco, and we're going to put little tabs on the back of these these, so you'll be able to hang them in your man cave or your garage or whatever it is. But these painters are going to put their best work on there, and then when it's all said and done, we're doing a gallery display at the SmokeOut, and you will be able to bid on these things live online, and we're going to try to raise as much money as we can for Meals on Wheels.
Yep. 100% of all the funds will go directly to Meals on Wheels. And can I take a minute just to give recognition to the artists that have
Yes.
stepped up so far? So I want it known that all of these artists are volunteering their talent and their time for this, and not one of them hesitated to jump right on the cause. So we've got Jace Hudson at Fast Life Garage, Robert Pradke from Custom Auto Design, Casey Kennel from The Paint Shop, Fish Alcorn from Alleyway Customs, Mr. Oz from Mr. Oz Designs, Darren McCaig of McCaig Art, Steve Gibson from Air, Oil, and Lead. Both Parawitzes, both Dave and Jody stepped up to do this. Mo Diaz of Mo's Custom Image, and finally, so far, Christian Bana.
No, not finally.
Oh.
One more addition, Mr.
Oh.
Ronnie Tonetti from Art
Oh.
Keys, North Hill Cycles.
I'm so sorry. I missed him. We'll fix that right up.
Yep.
Ronnie Snelly, who helped you guys paint Bone Daddy.
And has helped us in ways that we can't even talk about on a show that's nationally televised.
Forever. Yeah, he's helped
Yeah.
us do a lot of stuff. So
Ronnie's a good
Ronnie's
guy.
a good friend. Good friend.
But this, the reason the thing is called Tank Full, and because everybody deserves a full tank. Heather, your statistics on the amount of people, 63% of elderly people across the United States that have to make a decision more than too often, whether they're going to fill their prescriptions or fill their stomachs up, and that's bullshit in this day and age in our country.
Yeah, nobody should go hungry here.
No.
Not
So,
here.
pretty good thing that's going on there. One of the other things that we want to talk about real quick is the Legacy Invitational. This is going to be one of the new additions to SmokeOut. What we're going to do with this is some of the OGs of SmokeOut history. We've asked already the likes of Billy Lane, Paul Cox, Jeff Cochran, Bill Dodge, Steve Broyles, Pat Patterson, Donnie Luce, and more are being added to this to not only come and represent some of the history of SmokeOut, but in addition to that, each one of them is going to be responsible for picking one legacy builder. So a guy that's either new to SmokeOut or new to building, so that the legacy can be passed on. So as SmokeOut continues on, there's going to be new people, new faces that are worked into the program. So that's the very front building. As you pull into the SmokeOut, we'll have all of these builders' bikes. They'll have, walls full of builder bios, and this is our Legends gallery with artwork and everything. So it should be pretty badass at the front of the SmokeOut.
I think the whole point of the SmokeOut coming back, like Ed said, when you guys were at Willie's, is I was watching to know that Chris, being such a icon in his own way in this industry, and grabbing a hold of this and keeping running with it, I think's huge.
It's a huge honor for us, man. At Willie's, Mark, I said it's a huge honor for us. And at Willie's, like, people, when we popped that tent up and put those postcards out, people came out of the woodwork. They were so happy. They're so happy that this is going on, that they're going to get a chance. And that was one of the biggest comments that we got. I finally get to do it. The people that were like, man, I always wanted to go to that, and I waited and I missed my chance. I finally get to do it. Or young guys are like, man, my dad's been talking about this forever. I finally get to do a SmokeOut. Super proud about that. So that's our
It's super
SmokeOut.
cool that we're going to be able to be a part of making it happen again too.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a total pain in the ass for you guys. I mean, obviously, I'll be there as much as I possibly can. But wow, you guys have your hands full.
I think it'll be worth it. People are so excited about it.
Oh, most definitely.
Mr. Kurt Green, can't wait for SmokeOut, was always my favorite rally. Right on. Good to see you here, Kurt.
That's awesome.
Cool. Well, I'll tell you what.
I think there's going to be a lot of people coming.
If the response that we're getting is any indication, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Right. Just going to say that. We're going to need a bigger boat.
But it'll be worth it in any event.
So what you're saying is we're going to be moving to to Salisbury for like 2 weeks. Is that what you're trying
Oh
to
yeah,
tell
it'll be 2 weeks anyway. It'll be 2 weeks and then some. But listen, man, I'm gonna wrap this one up tonight because, you know, like I said, we got up super early this morning. We've been working all day packing and getting everything together. We did a bunch of photo shoots before we left Daytona. Then we traveled the other side of Florida to make sure we got the show together. I hope we put enough of a show together for you guys for this Sunday. Next, Dennis Stauber, I plan on popping up my SmokeOut cherry. That
Right
makes me
on.
feel a little dirty, Dennis.
Oh. Hey, I've seen some of the pictures from SmokeOut Past.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
should
boy.
not make you feel dirty.
I listen. Whoever knows what happened to Ice Cream Man for help, please get a hold of us. If anybody knows where that cat is at, like I can't imagine bringing back the first SmokeOut back to Salisbury and him not being there, right? So,
Yeah, right.
let us know. But I hope this was enough of a show for you guys for tonight. We're going to be feverishly working on next week's production, quality videos from Sons of Speed, and some other stuff from Daytona as well.
We have Ken Madstork coming in with some info about his new rolling gallery.
You know,
He's our guest, and he's just a great guy, all-around guy, and again, another excellent photographer. So he'll be a good chat too.
you know. So until next week when we catch back up with you, I want to thank you guys for letting us sit in on your headspace. I want to thank all of our sponsors that are up here as the roll goes by, but mostly we want to say thank you to Dennis Kirk for lending us the studio space to get Shop Talk done. If you like what you saw here tonight, like and share, pass it on. Make plans for next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern when we go live with another 90 to 120 minutes, all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Until then, we'll be back, same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Bye, Felicia.
You left me hanging there.